Learn English through story. The Man Who Chased Shadows. In the bustling city of Verdant, known for its gleaming skyscrapers and frenetic pace, lived a man named Thomas. Thomas was a corporate lawyer, respected and feared in equal measure. His sharp mind and relentless work ethic had propelled him to the top of his profession. He lived in a luxurious apartment overlooking the city, drove an expensive car, and wore tailor-made suits. To many, Thomas seemed to have it all. However, despite his outward success, Thomas felt a gnawing emptiness inside. His days were a blur of meetings, negotiations, and court battles, leaving him little time for anything else. He had few friends and no family, having distanced himself from his parents and siblings in his quest for professional dominance. His only companion was his ambition, which drove him to work long hours and take on increasingly demanding cases. One evening, as Thomas was preparing for yet another late night at the office, he received a call from his old college friend, David. David was the polar opposite of Thomas, a humble school teacher who had chosen a life of simplicity and service. They hadn't spoken in years, and the call came as a surprise. "Thomas, it's been too long. I'm organizing a reunion for our old college gang. It's this weekend at my place. I'd love for you to come," David said warmly. Thomas hesitated. He had an important case coming up and couldn't afford any distractions. But something in David's voice stirred a long-buried longing for connection and simpler times. Reluctantly, he agreed to attend, promising himself it would only be for a few hours. When the weekend arrived, Thomas drove to David's house, a modest but cozy home in a quiet suburb. The reunion was a joyful affair, filled with laughter, reminiscing, and genuine camaraderie. Thomas felt a strange sense of comfort and belonging, emotions he hadn't experienced in years. As the evening wore on, he found himself in a deep conversation with David. "Thomas, you've achieved so much, but tell me, are you happy?" David asked gently. The question caught Thomas off guard. No one had ever asked him that before. He realized he didn't have an answer. David continued, "I know you've worked hard for your success, but life is more than just achievements and accolades. It's about relationships, experiences, and finding peace within yourself." Thomas returned to the city with David's words echoing in his mind. Over the next few days, he couldn't shake the feeling that something vital was missing from his life. He began to question his choices and the relentless pursuit of professional success that had consumed him. One night, unable to sleep, Thomas went for a walk through the city. He wandered aimlessly until he found himself in a small park he used to visit during his college days. He sat on a bench, lost in thought, when an elderly man joined him. The man introduced himself as Samuel and, sensing Thomas's turmoil, struck up a conversation. "You look troubled, young man." "Sometimes, we chase shadows, thinking they're the source of our happiness," Samuel said wisely. Thomas shared his story with Samuel, who listened patiently. When Thomas finished, Samuel nodded thoughtfully. "Success is a fine thing, but it's not the only thing. True fulfillment comes from finding a balance between ambition and contentment, between work and life. You must nurture your soul as well as your mind." Over the next few weeks, Thomas couldn't stop thinking about his conversations with David and Samuel. He began to make small changes in his life. He reconnected with his family, reaching out to his parents and siblings, and started to rebuild those relationships. He also made an effort to reconnect with old friends and cultivate new ones. Thomas decided to cut back on his hours at work, delegating more responsibilities to his capable team. This allowed him to pursue interests and activities he had long neglected. He started volunteering at a local community center, using his legal expertise to help those in need. He found joy in teaching, mentoring young lawyers and law students, and sharing his knowledge and experience. As Thomas slowly rediscovered the importance of balance and connection, he found himself growing happier and more fulfilled. The emptiness he had once felt began to dissipate, replaced by a sense of purpose and belonging. He realized that his worth was not solely defined by his professional success, but also by the positive impact he had on others and the relationships he nurtured. One day, Thomas received a call from David, who invited him to give a talk at the local school where he taught. The topic was the importance of balance and finding true fulfillment in life. Thomas agreed, eager to share his journey and the lessons he had learned. Standing in front of the students, Thomas spoke from the heart. He recounted his relentless pursuit of success, the emptiness it brought, and the transformative power of reconnecting with what truly mattered. He emphasized the importance of balance, relationships, and finding joy in simple, meaningful experiences. After the talk, a young student approached Thomas and thanked him for his words. "I want to be successful too, but I also want to be happy. Your story showed me that it's possible to have both," the student said with a smile. Thomas left the school that day with a sense of fulfillment he had never known before. He had touched a life, inspired someone to seek a balanced and meaningful existence. It was a far cry from the accolades and awards he had once sought, but it brought him a deeper, more lasting satisfaction. Years passed, and Thomas continued to build a life that balanced professional success with personal fulfillment. He became a respected figure not just in the legal world, but also in his community. He was known for his wisdom, generosity, and the way he lived his life with integrity and balance. Thomas's story became a source of inspiration for many, a reminder that true success is not measured by wealth or status, but by the quality of our relationships and the joy we find in everyday life. He had learned that chasing shadows would never bring happiness, but embracing the light of connection and balance would lead to a life of genuine fulfillment. In the end, Thomas found that the greatest achievements were not the ones that brought him fame and fortune, but the ones that enriched his soul and made the world a better place. His journey was a testament to the power of transformation and the enduring truth that happiness is found not in what we acquire, but in how we live and love. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.